With an injury announced and more, this is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video. Mentioning the latest regarding CM Punk, Ringside News wrote that CM Punk, sidelined from in-ring action since January due to a triceps injury, has maintained a significant presence on WWE television and social media. Despite being unable to compete, his impact has been substantial, particularly evident in his heated rivalry with Drew McIntyre. Now, in a strategic move, CM Punk has inked a deal with Paradigm Talent Agency, aiming to expand his footprint across various entertainment mediums. According to Deadline, the WWE star, known as the best in the world, has partnered with Paradigm exclusively, signaling his intent to venture further into the entertainment industry. CM Punk, the WWE star, who also goes by the best in the world, has signed with Paradigm for representation in all areas, reports Deadline, highlighting Punk's ambition to diversify his presence in entertainment. Joining the ranks of Paradigm alongside CM Punk are other WWE talents such as Tiffany Stratton and Damian Priest. With this collaboration, speculation arises regarding potential ventures for CM Punk in movies or television projects. Ahead of the WWE Premium Live event in Scotland, Clash of the Castle, Drew McIntyre posted these two videos.
We're here, finally, made it. Back home, Glasgow. The first Scottish air, I've slept for exactly 27 minutes and 30 seconds, but that's okay. I'm running on Scottish adrenaline. We got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the big match on Saturday. McIntyre becomes world champion. We got first Media Mayhem. We're going to see the football stadium. We're going to Ibrox. We're going to talk to Scotland. It's not about football, real football, the ball you kick it with your foot. Scotland playing the Euros this weekend. We've got John McGinn and Robbo out on the wing. No Scotland, no party, and this Saturday's the biggest party of all bloody time when I win the championship. Like I said, belt now, when I win the belt. You just say this the first thing you see me. Yeah. So you're actually working on it? I'm working on it, I don't stop. It's a big
Sticking with McIntyre, he also posted this clip as it has been a decade since his release from WWE.
Rhodes Clay, Evan Bourne, Teddy Long, Kurt Hawkins, and other WWE superstars released. It was 10 years ago today. I am one of the other. Not even the picture here. And 10 years ago was the best thing that happened to me because I ended up right back here in ICW. Found myself as a performer, found myself as a man, grew business outside of WWE, and 10 years later, main event Clash of the Castle. Not bad for other.
With a WWE star advocating for a WWE Premium Live event in Chile, Ringside News wrote that WWE has been hosting an array of international Premium Live events ever since the Paul Triple H Levesque era dawned upon the landscape at WrestleMania 40 and did makeshift changes in the company. Over the months, WWE has delivered spectacular PLEs on international borders, like WWE Backlash France and WWE King and Queen of the Ring PLE in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, which have proven to be massive successes. Now they are set to host their third international PLE WWE Clash at the Castle, taking place this weekend at the OVO Hydro in Glasgow, Scotland, and is expected to be headlined by the World Heavyweight Championship match between Damian Priest and Scotland's own Drew McIntyre. Amidst WWE WWE's string of successes, current WWE Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn advocated for another top country in South America for the company to host a PLE. In a recent interview with Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, Zayn stated that he would like to see a WWE PLE hosted in Chile, claiming to have one of the most real wrestling fan bases. Revealing the inspiration behind storylines and characters in AEW, president of the company, Tony Khan, told TV Insider all about Eve and Sunset Boulevard changed the course of AEW. Those are two of my favorites. If you've seen them, you know what I'm talking about. With Timeless Toni Storm, I took a lot of influence from those when I wanted to make her a character and lead off with her. We have a great tie-in with Turner Classic Movies. One influence came at the start of the lockdown. There were a few days before we had to do our show during the lockdown, which I think was March 18th, 2020. I had a lot of time to watch other shows and what others did during these situations. Also, Tony Khan would address the apparent collaboration between WWE and TNA Wrestling. Since we launched AEW, we've been looking to work with great wrestling companies across the planet. The relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling developed in 2021 and built to the point where we teamed to do a co-branded event like Forbidden Door. We're approaching the third one. It's a whole new level of great cooperation between wrestling promotions to see the stars of CMLL and Stardom, in addition to the great wrestlers from New Japan Pro Wrestling, competing with AEW stars. I'm always open to working with great wrestling promotions all over the world. It feels like the spirit of cooperation in worldwide pro wrestling is greater than it has ever been, which is a big positive. Seeing the top stars of AEW go to Tokyo and compete at Wrestle Kingdom, I think that the fans can always count on AEW New Japan to put on great collaborations. I think this year's Forbidden Door will be one of the strongest shows any promotion will put anywhere in the world. Tony Khan would even be asked about his thoughts on Ricochet's WWE contract reportedly expiring this summer, with Ringside News noting that in an interview with Scott Fishman of TV Insider, AEW president Tony Khan was pressed to divulge his stance on Ricochet's talented potential move to AEW. Khan diplomatically sidestepped the query, emphasizing his reluctance to delve into discussions regarding talent still contracted with WWE. If it's okay, I'd rather not get into wrestlers that still work for someone else, Khan remarked, succinctly dodging the Ricochet topic. Furthermore, insider reports from within AEW hint at internal discussions regarding Ricochet's potential acquisition, with his name surfacing in recent backstage conversations. However, differing opinions exist regarding Ricochet's prospective ascent to stardom within AEW's ranks. Some harbor doubts about his ability to shine brightly in the AEW constellation. Ultimately, only time will unfurl the tapestry of Ricochet's future endeavors. Speaking to Adrian Hernandez, AEW International Champion Will Ospreay said this regarding former TNA Wrestling head Scott D'Amore possibly joining AEW or Ring of Honor. I remember when I was back there for the Impact show where they announced that it was going to be TNA in January. I looked in the ring and I saw Scott D'Amore in there, and I can't tell you how much respect I have for Scott D'Amore. And like, if there was anything that I want to put out there, if there is a way that AEW could hire Scott D'Amore in any type of fashion, like have that guy run Ring of Honor or something, because the passion that he had for TNA and just how he completely single-handedly transformed that company. I watched him say that this is TNA, and I saw Josh Alexander in there, I saw Jordan Grace in there, I saw Gazelle Shaw, I saw all of these guys, and I just looked and I was like, yeah man, that was TNA. That is TNA. All the guys that they got there now, that is TNA, man. Former TNA Knockouts champion and current AEW star Deonna Purrazzo said this regarding D'Amore joining AEW or Ring of Honor, telling Daily DDT, yeah, if that's something he's interested in, absolutely. I think that him and I have cultivated such a great relationship through my time at Impact, now TNA, and I think that he treats women's division so special. He just had that perfect storm, magic sauce with us. He treated us with so much respect and so much dignity. I think if that's something he was interested in doing, it would be to our benefit for sure. Going over a recently departed TNA Wrestling head of creative that joined AEW, Ringside News said that at the forefront of TNA's recent exodus was R.D. Evans, who held the mantle of head of creative for the organization. Sources indicate that Evans had been growing increasingly disillusioned with his role and had opted to relinquish his position prior to the onset of organizational restructuring. Notably, Evans, renowned for his prior stint with WWE, commenced his tenure with TNA in October of 2019. As per PW Insider, Robert R.D. Evans, fresh from his departure from TNA's creative team approximately a week prior, has now officially aligned himself with All Elite Wrestling. Eyewitness accounts affirm Evans' presence at the recent Collision tapings this past Saturday, underscoring his anticipated ongoing involvement in tonight's Dynamite taping. Reports from the weekend reveal Evans immersed in backstage production duties for AEW. When it comes to WWE possibly not doing any more post-show press conferences, Ringside News noted that WWE operates a multifaceted operation with various components working in tandem to ensure smooth functioning, including their post-show press conferences. Recent reports suggesting the discontinuation of these press conferences have now been clarified as inaccurate. Since 2022, WWE has maintained a consistent presence of post-premium live event press conferences showcasing memorable moments such as the 2022 Survivor Series press conference. However, scrutiny has arisen regarding Triple H's handling of questions during these sessions. WrestleVotes initially reported that WWE would be altering its approach for post-event press conferences following the Clash at the Castle premium live event on June 15th. Instead of the traditional press conference format, WWE would transition to a post-show. The tweet read, "Interesting tidbit. Source states WWE is altering its plan for a press conference after this Saturday's Clash at the Castle premium live event. It will now just be a post-show, with the possibility of media questions still undetermined." However, Ringside News reached out to WWE sources regarding this report and received confirmation that the information is inaccurate. Therefore, fans can expect to continue seeing press conferences in the future. In a clip on X, Dax Harwood said this regarding his health.
What's up, y'all? Sometimes social media can be a harsh place. And I know there's a lot of people, especially in the Twitter world, that don't really care for me too much, and that's okay. But I thought this was the best way that I could talk to the fans of AEW and the fans of FTR and finally get this off of my chest. First of all, before I go any further, I want to apologize to my boss. I want to apologize to the front staff in AEW. I want to apologize, probably more than anything. I want to apologize to the medical staff too, because I should have been upfront. I should have been truthful about some things that's been going on with me over the last couple of months, and I didn't because I thought I could tough it out. At the Dynasty pay-per-view in the ladder match with the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, I gave Matt Jackson a pile driver through the ladder. And when I landed, it messed my lower back up really, really bad and caused a severe hematoma that appeared on my lower back, which, as we know, that's where the brunt of the bumps go for a professional wrestler. I thought I could tough through it. I felt that FTR was on a momentum high there, and I wanted to not take myself and Cash off of the road. And after this weekend, after this match with the Blackpool Combat Club, 20-minute draw, incredible match, one of my favorite matches I've had in AEW, I got to the back and I put some ice on my lower back, and the hematoma blew up to the size of a football, at the very least, the size of a football. And with that and with the pain, I debated on whether saying this and whether explaining this, because I don't want anybody to think I'm trying to get sympathy. But the pain has been, at the very, very, very minimum, the pain's been excruciating over the last few months. I haven't wanted to tell anybody because I didn't want, like I said, I didn't want FTR to be taken off of television. I didn't want us to be taken off the road. Maybe selfishly, maybe a little egotistically, I felt that we were an important part to AEW, to Dynamite, and obviously, more importantly, to Collision, which has been our home for the last year. But today I had to get an x-ray on my lower back, on my pelvis, and they had to take a look at this hematoma. And when I finally explained this Saturday to Doc Sampson and the whole medical team, who is incredible, and their only objective is to take care of this talent, when I explained to them what I've been hiding for the last 2 months, Doc Sampson immediately took me off of the road. He said, "You've got to rest it up, and if you don't, it could get worse, and it could lead to possible retirement, and obviously I don't want that." So going forward, I got to be truthful with you guys. I got to be truthful with my bosses. I got to be truthful with the medical staff. And I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't know how long we're going to have to be off. But unfortunately, and maybe fortunately for some of you people that don't like FTR, myself and Cash will not be on television for a while. I have to rest this thing up. The nights, the sleepless nights have been catching up with me because I cannot get a comfortable position even in my bed. So you got to think, if I can't get a comfortable position in my bed, imagine the plane rides or the top rope superplexes and all this stupid shit that I do at almost 40 years old. But I hope you know, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that give me some grief for it, but I hope you know all this is for the love of the game, and it's for the love of all you fans. Again, I'm not sure how long we'll be back. I hope it's sooner than later. But I hope when we come back, we can come back better than ever. And, my number one priority in this profession is the legacy. Obviously, I know I get flack for it, the legacy of FTR, and I never want that to go away. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you to my work, to my bosses, to everyone who didn't give me any shit for lying to them and taking the steps needed that I wouldn't take to take care of my body. Because without them, I'm sure in the next couple of months, couple of years, I'd be a crippled man. And I can't thank them enough. So Doc Sampson, the whole medical team, even my boss man, Tony Khan, who had no idea about this, and I hope he's okay with this. Thank you guys for everything, and I hope to see everybody soon. Top Guys, out.
And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.